Two. Awesome. I'm gonna go off
Okay.
camera now.
All right. How are you guys?
Doing well. How are you?
Awesome. Yeah, doing great.
Good, good. I enjoyed the 8 episodes and I watched them yesterday.
Oh, thank you.
It's good. Tell us, each of you tell me how your audition went for the show.
Wow. Martin, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I feel like the audition process for the show for me was a little interesting because I believe, yeah, no, I read for all three characters. I read for Rafa, Harris, and oh, I didn't read for Miguel. So the character that I got, I didn't read for him. And I got an email and like, hey, we'd like to chemistry test you for Miguel. Here are the sides, and this is happening today. I was like, oh, okay. Interesting. But I read initially, I read it like months before I heard anything back for Rafa's character.
Yeah, mine was a bit more straightforward. I auditioned for Harris and that was it. But it was pretty, there's self-tape and then going on to Zoom. And then I remember getting the like Zoom like callback and chemistry read. And like they tell you who's gonna be in the Zoom room. And I was like reading all these names and I was like, it's Mike Schur and like Morgan Sackett and like Shay and Lisa and Peter. And I remember going, oh my God, like this is like a thing. But I guess I did well enough to to end up here. But it was certainly a nerve-wracking process, but it was good. I love auditioning.
I noticed it's funny, a lot of the characters look different than you do in real life. Martin, you look pretty much the same, and so does Shikaya. The others of you, I think they made you look a little nerdy, more nerdy than you are in real life. I don't know.
Nigel, you're growing your hair out. Looks
That's
good.
true. I haven't gotten a
Is that what it
haircut
is?
in a few months. That might be what it is. I wear a lot of hats in the show. Quite literally, actually. Yeah. So
Yeah. This is a large cast with many experienced actors, many of them older than you guys. Have you learned much from these other actors? And what have you learned?
Yeah, I mean, I think, for me talking about experience, like out of the 10 of us, I would say that I'm probably the least experienced, to be honest. And so, coming onto set and like you said, being with these people who've been doing it for years that are older, and even Martin, like Martin's been working for years, for like many years. And so like I was like a bit intimidated at the beginning, but to see how welcoming they were and how caring everybody was, it was like they made me feel like I belonged. And I think that was a big help for me to kind of get into it and just go do my job.
You do belong, Nigel.
Yeah. Thank you.
You made it. You made it.
I actually I don't do many comedies, and so that was something that was different for me. Seeing seeing everybody on the uncles and Drea on set and their banter, their improv skills, like it was really cool because I could see like how they played with the material. They would throw in some words and try it, like after they got their first couple of takes that was written, and they would try to explore like different choices, and it's really a learning experience. It's like a master class, seeing everybody work together and all of them and their dynamic and their banter. It just really works, and it was really exciting to be able to see that.
Do you feel more comfortable now in comedy?
I think so.
He's great in it. Yeah, he's great.
There's a lot of dramatic stuff in there too, like that one episode where not I forget the names of your characters, I'm sorry, but where
That's
Miguel and Rafa get in trouble for stealing. There was some dramatic stuff in there.
Yeah, that was some bad choices that we made, and some of us, or if not just one of us, had to as you'll see in that episode. But that was a really fun episode.
Yeah, I'll bet. Getting back to what I was saying before, Martin, what would you say was the most important thing that you learned from shooting this?
The most important thing that I learned from shooting this had to be I think the message of the show. I think our thematics really focus on friends and family, and that was really, even though like your opinions differ from each other, that at the end of the day, like there's, people are looking out for you, and you should surround yourself with people that care about you and support you. And at the end of the day, you like kind of go with what you think is best, what's right, and follow your gut.
Okay, and Nigel, what did you learn?
Yeah, I mean, to piggyback off of what Martin just said, I think, what he said applies to the show, of course, but also, and I think I touched on this before, but it applies to like what like working on it was like. And so just being willing, for me personally, to be willing to just go for it, just go for things, and seeing, like Martin said, seeing all the uncles and Treya, and just willing to just be so comfortable with like being themselves, and knowing that we're gonna accept it, and we're gonna accept who they are. And so for me, that was important for me to kind of see on set.
Okay, and Martin, did you have to schedule the filming for this show around filming Magnum PI? Was that difficult or easy, or?
I did, but luckily, I mean, they're so kind to me over there, the team on Magnum. They really worked with my schedule, and if I'm not available, they'll be like, okay, well, let us know when you are. So it was really an easy process. I'm super grateful that it all kind of worked out the way that it did.
Oh, that's nice. And do either of you have any funny behind the scenes stories that you can share with us?
I've got, well, I don't know if I should say this, but yeah, I'll do it. So we had a rap party at a carnival, at an amusement park where we shot the carnival episode.
Oh,
we
okay.
actually had a rap party there, and because of scheduling reasons, we actually had our rap party like before we officially wrapped. So we had a rap party, and then we had to go in to work at like 8 o'clock the next morning.
Oh,
I will say I now know, and this may be another important lesson that I have learned. Like riding roller coasters and like drinking does not mix, because that next morning, and Martin can attest to this, I am in the background of scenes with like, I had to put in like Alka-Seltzer tablets into my water. So I'm just barely surviving through those last scenes. So lesson learned, I guess.
What about you, Martin? Any funny stories from the making the show?
Yeah, some funny stories. I feel like one that sticks out to me the most would have to be the day that we were shooting the carnival episode. And we have this scene where we like, the carnival gate is open. Rolly like gives, like, he's like, hey, the place is yours. And we're all like freaking out. And we have this montage where they're like, hey, you guys are just gonna go and make some funnel cakes. Here's a stand. They give us the stand, the props are there, and we have a food fight. And maybe 3 takes in, our director, Kabir Akhtar, who directed our pilot and the second episode, he was like, okay, that was great, but go easy on Stakaya, because I guess we were just throwing too many Fruit Loops at her, and and powdered sugar, and I think that was a very funny moment.
Yeah, I don't think that scene made it into the episode either.
We got all dirty for no reason.
No, we had the montage did though.
Oh, the
but
montage.
Not,
oh, okay.
but not the attack.
That's great. And one last question. Have either of you been to San Antonio before?
No, I have not.
No, okay. Well,
Like we should make it. We should make like a cast trip.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun place. A lot of tourist stuff there, and it's beautiful too.
I heard there's a lot of. Is that where the bats are? Is that Austin? Maybe that's Austin.
I think that might be awesome. I don't know. I never heard of the bats before. I have to look that up.
Never mind. Maybe just cut that out. I guess I don't know.
It's on a river, and they've got all these bars and restaurants along the river.
Oh.
It's real pretty.
Oh, that's
and they've got the
nice.
Alamo. I think that's the Alamo there. So
Yeah. Okay.
I've been there a few
Okay.
times. Well, thank you. I enjoyed it, and I got my fingers crossed. So season 2.
Wow. Thank you. I appreciate that.
It was so nice meeting you. Thank you.
Yeah, you too.